Most people start planning a barndominium with the exact same belief. Bigger is better. More square footage. More rooms. More space to fill. More space to brag about. But walk through some of the largest barndominiums being built across America right now, and you'll notice something unexpected. They don't always feel like home. They feel like they're still waiting for someone to move in, like the space was built before anyone asked what it was actually for. Now look at this one. Same budget range. Almost 1,000 square feet smaller. And yet, it feels bigger. It feels finished. It feels expensive without carrying an expensive price tag. So today, we're breaking down real, affordable floor plans that are quietly outperforming homes twice their size. And along the way, we're going to answer 3 questions almost nobody asks before they break ground. Which layout actually creates the best value for the money you're spending? Which design quietly feels far bigger than its square footage suggests? And why has one particular floor plan style become one of the fastest growing choices among builders heading into 2026? By the end of this breakdown, you'll know exactly which affordable floor plan fits your lifestyle, your budget, and where your life is headed next, whether that's your first home, a growing family, or an investment property you'll rent out for years. Let's start with the design that changed everything for one young family. Here's the story most people don't expect. A young family outside Georgia built a barndominium last year that looked, on paper, almost unremarkable. Under 1,800 square feet, a modest budget, nothing flashy in the listing photos. But once they moved in, something shifted. Rooms that should have felt small didn't. Mornings felt easier. Evenings felt calmer. And within a few months, they realized they'd built something smarter than they'd planned for. They just didn't fully understand why yet. That why is exactly what we're about to break down. And it's the same reason this channel exists in the first place. If you're the kind of person who wants to build smart, not just build big, this is genuinely the right place for you. This channel isn't another home tour. It's built for future homeowners who want real floor plan breakdowns, honest construction insight, and affordable luxury inspiration you can actually use when you sit down with your builder. So if that sounds like where you're headed, go ahead and subscribe now, because what you're about to see next is exactly the kind of detail that separates a home that merely looks good from a home that actually works. Now, let's step inside the layout that made this family's home feel so much bigger than its square footage. This first layout is a compact, single-story barndominium built around one simple idea. Every square foot has to work for a living. No wasted hallways. No oversized formal rooms nobody actually uses. Just an open concept core, kitchen, living, and dining fused into a single continuous space, wrapped around 2 or 3 bedrooms. Because the living space wasn't chopped into disconnected boxes, the home felt open, social, and alive from the very first day. Kids doing homework at the island while dinner cooked 10 feet away. Nobody felt boxed in because nobody was. That's the quiet power of smart design. It doesn't need extra square footage to feel generous. It just needs the right square footage, arranged the right way. But there's one design feature tucked inside this layout that we're not going to reveal just yet. It's a detail so overlooked that most buyers don't even think to ask their builder about it until after the home is already finished. Keep that in mind because we're coming back to it. For now, let's look at what happens when you push this same idea further and how much more square footage actually costs you in return. Let's put 2 real floor plans side by side because this is exactly where most buyers get stuck. On the left, a compact 1,600 square foot layout. Efficient, tight, budget conscious from the ground up. On the right, a 2,400 square foot version built on very similar bones, just considerably larger. The smaller plan wins clearly on cost. Lower materials, lower labor, lower long-term utility bills, lower property taxes in most counties. It's the layout most first-time builders can actually afford without stretching their budget past its breaking point. But it comes with a real trade-off. Less room to grow into. A tighter footprint if the family expands, or if a spare room needs to permanently become a home office. The larger plan solves that problem outright. More flexibility, room for a guest suite, space for a growing family, or even a future rental unit tucked above the garage. But that flexibility comes at a price, quite literally. More square footage to heat, to cool, to clean, to furnish, and to maintain for decades to come. So here's the real question every single buyer eventually has to sit with. Are you paying for space you'll genuinely use, or space you're simply hoping you might need someday? That answer changes everything about which floor plan actually counts as the best one for your situation. And it's about to get even more interesting, because square footage isn't even the biggest factor in how a home truly feels once you're living in it. Here's something most floor plan comparisons completely miss. It isn't the size of the kitchen. It isn't even the number of bedrooms. It's where the kitchen sits in relation to natural light, and how people actually move through the house every single day. In one layout we studied closely, the kitchen was pushed to the back of the home, boxed in by walls on 3 sides, far from any window. Functional, sure, but dim. Disconnected from the rest of the house and from the people in it. In a layout that quietly outperformed it, the kitchen was placed near the center of the home, facing south-facing windows with a direct sight line straight into the living area. Same square footage, nearly identical appliances, almost the same cost to build. But one kitchen makes the entire home feel bright, connected, and alive from morning coffee to late-night dishes, and the other has you reaching for a light switch at 2 in the afternoon. This is the detail professional designers obsess over, and the detail most first-time buyers never think to raise with their builder. Room flow and light exposure can matter more to how a home feels than an extra 100 square feet ever will. And remember that hidden detail we left unrevealed earlier? Here it is, a direct connection between the mudroom and the kitchen, so groceries, muddy boots, backpacks, and daily chaos never have to cross through the main living space. Small on paper, massive in daily life, especially for anyone with kids, pets, or both. Here's a lesson most people don't expect walking into a floor plan breakdown like this one. The most expensive feeling barndominiums we found weren't the biggest ones on the market. They were the ones where every single decision, kitchen placement, light exposure, room flow, was made on purpose, not by accident. If that's genuinely reshaping how you think about your own future floor plan, go ahead and tap that like button right now. It costs nothing, and it directly helps this kind of detailed, practical breakdown reach more future homeowners who need it. Because coming up next, we're going even deeper into exactly how professional builders evaluate a floor plan before a single wall goes up. And it's almost nothing like what most people expect. Most buyers evaluate a floor plan by asking one question. Does this look beautiful? Experienced builders ask something completely different and far more useful. They start with daily functionality. Not, how does this photograph, but how does this actually hold up on an ordinary Tuesday evening? Groceries in one hand, a toddler in the other, dinner already running late. Next, garage placement. Is it a straight, sheltered walk from the car to the kitchen? Or does it force you through the front door with your arms completely full every single time it rains? That one detail affects the home every day for as long as you live there. Then, storage. Not just closets for the sake of closets. Real, planned storage that anticipates how a family actually accumulates belongings over the years. Builders know a home without enough storage will feel cluttered and small, no matter how generous the square footage actually is. After that, future expansion. Can this layout realistically grow if life changes? Can a bonus room convert into a bedroom later? Can the garage eventually become a workshop, a home gym, or even a small rental apartment? And finally, resale value. Even if you're building your forever home, a smart builder always asks one more question. If life changes down the road, will someone else genuinely want this floor plan too? That's the real formula behind every affordable barndominium quietly holding its value going into 2026. Not beauty first, function first, because beauty follows naturally once the function is right. So after everything we've uncovered, which floor plan should you actually build? If you're a first-time builder working with a tight budget, the compact, open concept layout from earlier gives you the most livability per dollar, without unnecessary space to heat, cool, and maintain for years to come. If you're a growing family, The larger layout from the trade-off segment earns its extra cost, as long as you genuinely need that flexibility and you're not just building for a hypothetical future that may never arrive. If you're planning ahead for retirement, prioritize a single-story, light-filled layout like the one we broke down in the Hidden Advantage segment. Fewer stairs, more comfort, and dramatically lower long-term maintenance. If this is a vacation property, lean smaller and simpler. A home that's easy to close up, easy to maintain remotely, and doesn't demand constant upkeep while you're away for months at a time. And if you're building specifically for rental investment, function wins over everything else. Durable finishes, smart storage, and a layout broad enough to appeal to the widest possible range of future tenants or future buyers. Here's the truth this entire breakdown has been building toward. The smartest floor plan was never the biggest one available. It's the one that quietly makes everyday life easier, one overlooked decision at a time, long after the cameras and the blueprints are gone. But smart layouts are only half of this story, because even the best floor plan can be made to feel far more expensive or far more affordable, depending on one factor we haven't even touched on yet: architecture itself. In our next video, we're breaking down luxury barndominiums under $300,000 that you can actually build, and showing you exactly how roof lines, materials, and design choices can make a modest home feel like a custom-built estate. This video is intended for educational and inspirational purposes only. Floor plans, construction costs, material prices, labor rates, and local building regulations vary significantly by region and change over time. Before making any building decisions, always consult a licensed local builder, architect, or contractor to verify current pricing, codes, and requirements in your specific area.